Wilds.
All right. Yes, we are
We're
live
evil
now.
backwards.
Welcome to session 2 of Maison de la Corriveau. We didn't record session 1 because we didn't think to do it, and it was just character creation anyway. But we were recording this partially for the benefit of our friend Kaya, who cannot join us, but also just so there's a record for afterward if people want to watch it later on. So let's begin with a quick visit to the collaboration tab. All right, we agreed for our collaboration last time. The tone of this game is family saga. We are setting historical accuracy at somewhat important, gender power balance at historical, standard 18th century patriarchy rather than regency. We are not using hidden information. Is there anything our game should avoid? Our lines are harm to children, incest including cousin marriage, racism, sexual assault, characters named Charles/Chuck or Rebecca. Our veils are anti-Semitism, bigoted violence, domestic abuse, graphic gore, harm to animals, homophobia, infidelity, miscarriage/infertility, on-screen explicit sex, pandemics, and transphobia. Then in the Ask First category, we have bullying, cults, drug abuse, suicide, violence, and weight discussion. Is there anything we'd love to see in our game? Rendezvous at midnight. The more illicit, the better. In all caps, I believe this was Chris. Ghosts, ghosts, ghosts. Not to call people out.
What can I say? I'm excited.
Yeah, apparitions in mirrors and windows. Someone getting in over their head. Someone having a crisis of faith. And diabolical pacts. Then, is there anything we don't care to see in our game? We had trouble coming up with this, but we're open to adding things if things come up. The only thing we marked in this category was true hatred between siblings. I think it was Kaya that said she was uncomfortable with sibling relationships that were irretrievably lost or incontrovertibly damaged. Is there anything we want to add to our lines and veils, to the love to see, to the don't care to see? Or is this still representative of where we're at? Okay. For spectral collaboration, quick. Since we're playing Thinly Veiled, and I'm probably going to send this to Chloe. I should send this to Chloe. Are spirits real? Maybe. How do spirits signal their presence? We decided on visibly and olfactorily. And the details about spirits or the spirit world. There are always two versions of spirits. The sweet remembrance versus the gruesome reality. If you let a spirit linger with you too long, they can drain your energy. Spirits only know what they knew while living. Spirits are motivated by a single desire or motivation. And some spirits will want to make a deal with you. All right. Do we want to quickly introduce our characters for Chloe's benefit? I can send Chloe a link to the play doc if you'd rather just get into it. What do you think?
I mean, we could do very brief.
Yeah, let's do some very brief introductions. I will introduce Kaya's character quick. Kaya is playing Vespérine Le Corriveau. She is the wife of Casimir Le Corriveau, who is played by Chris. and the rival of Aletia Le Corriveau, her sister-in-law, who is played by Isabella. She's the companion and humble origins for her role and background. And to sum up the backstory for Vesperine, she grew up a little bit further out from Quebec City, and is part of an arranged marriage with Casimir. She's privy to Casimir's secret that I'll leave to Chris to mention when he introduces Casimir, but is doing his best. She's doing her best to be supportive of him and ingratiate herself into the family, doing what she can to learn how to play the society game. All right, Isabella, tell us about Aletia.
All right. So Aletia Lilius de Corriveau. They, 24, protect the secrets of my family from outsiders. It sort of includes my sister-in-law, as we mentioned, who is my rival. My old flame is Ethelbert, and sibling of Casimir. I'm younger, but I'm the heir. We're also old money. And I used to be a very big troublemaker in a lot of ways as a child and a, a young woman, and I very much enjoyed it. Taking men out into the, deep woods and then leaving them stranded on a hillside. Sounds like a good time. But something weird happened in those woods, and me and my twin sister, who is deceased, ended up waking up ourselves. I only did, in a lone house deep in the woods. And I can't remember why, but I could have sworn I saw my sister walking down the corridors, even though she was laying there right beside me.
Excellent. Laura, tell us a bit about Titus Smythe.
Titus is 32. He is the mentor of Albert and the former friend of Casimir. He is a botanist. And he has not been given, he feels, the due he deserves as an up-and-coming young genius in his field. So he studied with possibly the greatest botanist of all time. And after his mentor's death, he decides to come back to Quebec and strike out on his own. And his what he really wants is to have some damn plants named after him. His mentor has named plants after everybody, including like 3 for Ben Franklin, but none for him. So he will do whatever it takes to gain to get that stamp of approval of a plant named after him, and also the approval eventually of his mentor, who is dead but not completely gone.
Continuing left to right, I am playing Curé Adalbert Giroux, or Father Adalbert Giroux. He's 30 years old. His desire is to evade consequences for his past misbehavior. He's Aletia's old flame and Titus's protege. He's a bit atypical for a priest. He comes from a wealthy family of vintners from Ile d'Orléans, just outside Quebec City, and took refuge in the priesthood after his romance with Aletia hit the skids. But still kind of finds ways to live this high society rich boy life, even though he's a priest. Honestly, being a priest opens up a lot of doors that hadn't previously been available to him.
Yeah,
so he does what he can to do that. He has also been striking up a sort of mentorship, friendship with Titus, who's been teaching him more about botany as it relates to his family business. So And Chris, just tell us about Casimir.
Casimir Le Corriveau is the eldest child of the Corriveau household, nominally the heir to property, but everyone in the know knows that Alatia is the one who's really going to take over. What they don't know is why. And to save a lot of poetic language, Casimir is, I would say, formerly a hedonist, but that has been cut short because he has been possessed by a loup-garou, which is a sort of ghost, an incarnation of the devil that punishes the impious and tempts them to harm those they love. So that's why he's currently being hidden, but he's disinherited for other, more pedestrian reasons.
This game is kind of interesting because we have a double socialite game, and Casimir's an ex-hedonist, whereas Adalbert might switch to hedonist depending on how he acts. So it's double socialites heading in opposite directions. So
I'm very pleased by this.
I'm quite excited myself. All right. Not gonna go through all the connections. Chloe can look at the sheet. Not to give you homework.
But Chloe's gonna love them.
Not to give you homework, Chloe. I did add one more connection under your column, Isabella.
Oh, right.
Because this was a connection that I felt that we needed for our opening scene, and it was probably most appropriate under Alatia. This connection is Maître Gaspard Le Duc. He's the attorney handling the Corriveau estate. I am going to go ahead and play this character because it seems most appropriate for me as facilitator to just take that on. So, little bit of executive decision making that I normally would not do outside a session, but I realized between last week and while I was getting ready for today, for this opening scene that I want, this is a character that we kind of need and I didn't make. So, yeah.
No, it works for me. It works. I think that works pretty perfectly. So.
Okay, excellent. I mean, we can't do French-Canadian Knives Out without a lawyer. So.
Exactly.
Excellent. So, that leads us into opening scenes. I just mentioned I would like to do a kind of dramatic opening scene that's like a sort of will reading, introducing Alatia and Casimir to what they actually are inheriting, what they're actually getting.
Bless you?
You good?
Oh, okay.
You all right?
Did you sneeze?
Huh? No, I turned the light on.
You did a very...
okay.
You did a very dramatic, like... I was like, my brother is transforming already?
Okay.
Stuck out on that will, huh?
Yeah. Vesperine probably would be in this scene if Kai was here, but I think we can make allowances for Vesperine being somewhere else.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. What other scenes do we want to add to the list after that opener?
At some point, I would like to see Adalbert.
Yeah, naturally, we're going to want to introduce Adalbert and Titus somehow.
Yes.
Well, we might be able to do that together, and that Titus might be, well, I thought that Titus might be very interested in meeting with Alatia because he's very interested in the weeds that she was covered in and the taste in her mouth, and that sounds like a very interesting possible hint.
I do, yeah. When you were thinking about making your character a very, what is the word in English? Oh my God, flower-driven.
Yes, botanist.
Huh? Botanist, yes. Botanist, yes. I was like, these two should meet because
Yes.
I feel like Aletia
Okay.
does know quite a bit.
So we want Aletia and Titus together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to fold Adelbert into that, or do you want to introduce Adelbert in some
I think
other
I need
way?
an introduction to the. Should I presume on my friendship with Casimir, or
We are former friends.
You're
this is what I'm saying.
you're former friends with Casimir, so you probably need an introduction to the lady Corriveau. And maybe Adelbert can make that happen for you. So actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's start out that scene with Titus and Adelbert, and try and fold Aletia in. That probably makes sense.
For Kaya's for Vesperine not being here, it occurred to me that maybe because this is a family thing, that maybe Aletia actually arranged for her to not be home when the guy is coming to talk about the estates.
That's. I would actually think, speaking of poisons and stuff like that, that Aletia would probably keep dear sister-in-law away from that knowledge, actually.
Let's
for you, it might be better.
Let's start with those two scenes and just see where we go.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right, so this opening scene, Gaspar, Aletia, and Casimir. So you are summoned to La Maison de la Corriveau. Have you been living in this house already as like members of the family, just not in possession of it, or do you think you've been living somewhere else, waiting to take possession of it?
What do you think, dear brother?
Well, I think that I have not been living here. I think I've had sort of various between business interests in a former life and just raw shame now. I have not been living here. I've been either staying with friends in Quebec City or elsewhere.
Okay. So the person who's died, how long ago did they die exactly?
We had discussed, since you're kind of the new generation coming of age, this is probably taking place late 1770s, early 1780s.
Oh no, he froze.
Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Anyway, so Marie-Joseph Corriveau, or La Corriveau of legend, would have been put to death probably about 15 years ago.
Okay. All right. So Aletia then will have also been away at a different estate. Probably has been in town for a few days, getting a feel for the area. But again, I'll say that they've been away for a few years. So there,
right.
yeah. Aletia has also been away.
Very well. I think that works. So you are brought into the house.
Unless you want to. Okay. Unless you want me to be there.
No, I think it's fine. It's just down to what makes narrative sense to you. So you are brought into the house, into this salon, where Maître le Duc is waiting. Aletia, you probably recognize him as someone who deals with family affairs in different ways, but you probably have not had a lot of close contact with him because you're only recently coming to the age where you are in charge of anything. Gaspar is a stone-faced kind of mountain of a guy. He's really imposingly tall, even though he's sitting down. And he has a really angular, carved face that's just riven with lines and wrinkles. He just looks furious all the time, even if he doesn't mean to.
Love that.
Yes, you're finally here.
Yes, Aletia is unbothered by this gentleman. I think they've been raised rather strictly, and despite being short of stature, they come in and look very presentable and rather businesslike, with a glint to their eye, and they're waiting to be asked to sit.
Please.
Because I don't know if I heard you say it.
No. Please, by all means, sit down.
They sit, and they're waiting. Has my brother arrived yet?
I'm afraid not. Do you know what time we might expect him? That was...
Well, I would say he's right on time, then.
That was an uncannily good door knock sound.
What's that?
That was really good, Chris. Alright, you are greeted at the door by one of the servants of the house and brought into the salon.
I hope I'm not too
Let's
late.
hope that he's on time. No, brother, you are just on time.
Of course.
Why we're British, I don't know.
Right then. To business.
Was your travels well? Forgive me, I'm asking my brother if his travels were well.
They were uneventful, as one would wish.
Good.
Well done.
Forgive me.
No, not at all. The time has come for me to resign my role as executor of this estate and hand over this house, all associated assets, and the surrounding property into the next of kin of Madame Marie-Joseph la Corriveau. It has been a somewhat complicated process due to complex family ties and the intricacies of Madame la Corriveau's will, but it seems the house has fallen to the two of you, as well as the surrounding estates.
The two of us.
Yes, do you need me to speak up, monsieur?
No. Please.
I don't see if there's any problem with the two of us sharing an estate, brother.
Of course not.
It seems though as it would be well for us both to reside in one area. We can look out for each other.
Of course, dear sister.
There is also the matter of associated. He's shuffling through papers now, revealing his age a bit. fiddling with spectacles.
Alethea's trying not to look impatient
Hmm.
because they want to know what exactly is going on. They like to dig
Well,
into information.
It is indicated in the copies of the will that are in our possession that there is some sum of money that is left to whomever this house falls into. The will is non-specific as to the location. The staff that have been maintaining the house, as no one has been residing here for some time, have not been able to find it. So it is unclear whether this actually exists or whether it existed and has been taken by somebody. If you are able to find it, it belongs to you, and it is yours to do with as you wish. It's mentioned in the will as being in the sum of 70,000 francs. With the new government in place, the use of that money may prove complicated, but I trust that you're resourceful enough to put it to use.
Of course, my brother and I are quite capable. Adaptive, some would say.
Gaspar just kind of flits his eyes between the two of you and just says, naturally. The staff of the house are eager to continue their employment. If you wish to use the funds and accounts associated with the estate to continue their employ, it is of course up to you.
How long have they been employed with the house?
It varies. We've had some people come and go over the years, but most of the people here have been here since before Madame's untimely demise.
If you could give me a list of those people, me and my brother will discuss the rest. And they look at their
I will
brother.
have that. I'll have that to you as soon as I can, yes.
Thank you, monsieur.
He's shuffling around more papers. I think that covers everything that I had. Do you have any questions for me?
Will this inheritance be...
I believe
One at
Go ahead,
a time, please. Monsieur.
Is there any possibility that this inheritance comes under threat from the new administration?
That is part of why this has taken as long as it has, truthfully. I am assured by my partners and associates that what is rightfully yours is quite safe.
Very well.
As long as no undue attention is drawn to yourself.
Very well.
I believe you and I can manage that on our own. Do you not think, brother?
Of course.
And you also wish to ask something, Madame? Mademoiselle, rather?
No, I believe that everything that you have covered should be all of the documents, correct?
Yes, unless I'm forgetting something, but I don't believe that I am. You know where to reach me. He
Of course.
starts to get up and make his way out like a sort of gothic scarecrow out the door.
This reminds me of my old music teacher. I'm not even kidding. Amazing music teacher, though. Absolutely brilliant.
So you are left alone in the salon of your new house. Is there anything more that the two of you want to do with this scene?
I would, unless you have
Sure, by all means.
plans for something later. All right, wonderful. So your trip was truly uneventful returning.
As one could
You look
hope,
a little
getting through.
peaked.
Sorry?
I was just saying that you look a little peaked.
We have... The outside world is changed. The British have put everyone
Right.
on edge. It's not safe anymore.
Dare say it wasn't before.
The frontiers.
But what about the frontiers?
It's always been unstable, but it's never been quite at our doorstep like this.
I'm not quite sure I agree with that.
You would
Suppose
know.
it not only has that has perhaps changed only a little for me. And what of your good lady wife? How is she faring?
She's doing well. She is supervising our the moving of furniture into our new home. They've been held up at the border.
And are you in requirement of having someone assist with that? The borders, as we both know, are quite difficult. However, I think I know a person or two who could handle that situation discreetly.
Very well. I'm sure Vesperine would appreciate it being easier.
Yes, of course. Although I do think you should move in if we are to inherit this estate, don't you think?
Yes,
I don't bite.
as my last letter stated, I have done this. But for both of our sanities, I have also made arrangements to keep an apartment on an estate in the city.
Do you think that's rather frivolous? However, we can always add locks, and I'm certain there's things to explore through here that we could possibly use if word is to be believed.
I'm certain.
There's probably something in the basement that we could make use of.
I must admit you have been at something of a disadvantage. I've not had a tour of the house yet. I don't know what's left.
Things have not changed quite so much. Only tidying and things that have been picked off, of course. But most people tend to leave the more unsettling aspects to themselves. And the things are hidden away quite well enough.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm pretty certain. I do know where to find them.
Will you be needing any assistance in that department, or?
I could always use a few extra hands. Not opposed. What has it been since last we've seen each other?
Well, who can say?
Well, what you knew of a frivolous young thing was perhaps a little less frivolous and a little more calculating. As soon as you are set, you can tell me what can be moved upstairs to your new rooms. There's plenty of room in here for both of us.
Of course. You must forgive me. I've made an appointment with some old friends at another place.
I'm not stopping you.
Very well, then I shall be off.
And they're just going to sit back, watch him go.
And scene, I think.
I think that's good, yeah. Thank you.
All right, what else do we got here? You're talking to Titus?
I forgot that I was muted. Sorry, I was trying to answer that question. Yeah.
Oh.
Just as a housekeeping thing, before we move on to Titus and Adalbert, I noticed that my second connection was not filled out, and Chris had signed up for whatever it was going to be. So I decided to fill it out while you were having that scene. I was paying attention, but I just filled it out. To let you know, Chris, I've signed you up to be Adalbert's senior priest in this parish, who is an authority on defense against the occult.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Hercule.
Hercule Roy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He looks
a
a
real
delight.
fire and brimstone type.
It's not a ghost, but it might just be as good.
It is not a ghost. I know I told you it would be a ghost.
No, it's fine.
I got it
I'm
better.
totally okay with you've given me my second choice on the list, which is
Excellent.
the weird old priest.
I mean, you do weird guys just so well. How could I not?
Thank you. It's because of how normal I am in real life.
You know
Wonderful.
what? That's the same for me. I understand that.
Wait, you don't dress like this when you go to work?
When I go to work, I have to wear protective gear that makes sure I don't set myself on fire, breathe in fumes, or talk to dead people. So, you know. Yeah. Or actually, the other job is I have a lot of bees and they chill out.
Wait, do you work in a mortuary?
No, I don't. But
Okay, I was gonna say, it sounded like you were describing working as an embalmer.
I am very discreet about my actual livelihoods because I have 3 jobs. But also I like to keep hush-hush. So I like to give the most obscure parts of the job that are the weirdest sounding so that people just kind of look at me and go, Isabella, what on earth are you?
Yeah, very normal. I agree.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so Titus and Adalbert. So you were interested in this scene because Titus wants an introduction to the new Madame La Corriveau, the new lady of the house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I've heard those stories.
How do you think this is going down? Where are we meeting? Under what circumstances are we meeting?
Well, I think we could be meeting. Let's see. How close is your family estate to La Maison La Corriveau?
I don't have a family estate.
Well, the vineyard.
I
thought we were interested in talking about your family vineyard, no?
Yeah, but I don't live there now. I live in a rectory.
Right. But, okay. But I was thinking the soil, we could be talking about the soil content and how that would affect the grapes.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And so if the vineyard was close, that also might be an opportunity for me to mention. But I could also mention it because she's going to be part of your parish now.
Yeah. Truthfully, I had placed the Giroux estate in a different part of the city from where Maison de la Corriveau is. So I think setting this maybe at my rectory makes a bit more sense.
Okay. We can set it in the rectory. We could also, I can just be bringing you like ideas.
Yeah, I think that could work.
Regaling you
Yeah.
with ideas.
So, all right. So you've come to my rectory with a bunch of ideas that you want to spin me. Let's play that out.
Yes, my friend. I know that your mind these days, of course, is on loftier matters, but you had mentioned that your family has a vineyard, and I thought that at the least I could do is show you some of the newest ways in which over in France they are adding to the soil, enriching the soil to create new flavors in the grapes. It's quite an undertaking, but for you, my friend, I would do anything.
What do you have to show me?
Ah, I thought you would never ask. So it's very exciting. What you can do is you can take the dead leaves of other plants, like well, of course not here, but when I was in the South with the great John Bertram, we were looking at orange trees and the leaves and mulch you can create from even oranges themselves. You would be able to dig that mulch into the soil around the grapes, and it would pull up the notes into the fruit. Can you just imagine like the waft, the whiff of citrus, perhaps in your family's grapes, or the same could be done with mint, for example. It's fascinating stuff.
It does seem interesting. I do think my brother would be interested in this. I wonder about the practicality of finding plants locally or bringing plants here that could survive the conditions.
Friend, finding plants locally. You have an expert here, right? And we're friends, right? We would do things for each other. I would search out plants that might give you notes that you would be interested in incorporating into the family vineyard, and you would do me some great favor, such as introducing me to some of the people here so that I can really put down roots into this.
A look of recognition crosses Adalbert's face. Like, that's what this is really about. Who is it that you want to be introduced to?
Oh, well, so many families of note here, but I was thinking that I've heard that the Corrivaux have returned, and in particular, Mademoiselle de Corriveau is moving back in. That's the word on the street, to her family mansion. And she is certainly someone that I was great friends with her brother back in the day.
I think you say this while Adalbert is pouring himself like a glass of port or something. And he just kind of stops, like quietly closes the bottle and just kind of pauses for a moment before taking a sip, because he didn't know about this.
Oh.
Like, he didn't know that she was back. He takes a poignant sip from the glass. She's come back, has she?
Well, yes, I haven't, of course, seen her myself, but I have heard. I'm staying over at the inn, and the pub downstairs. That's all they're talking about. Casimir has come back too, but oddly enough, he seems to have missed all of my letters. I've been sending them to what I thought was his address, but I've never obtained a response. It's very odd.
Yes, strange indeed. Uh, I can imagine why so many would be talking about this.
So obviously I would love to once again make my acquaintance with the family. I uh, must say I
Naturally.
barely remember Alethea. Alethea, weren't there two of them?
That is a complicated story. I'll have to fill you in another time, I'm afraid. Tell you what, my friend. Allow me to make an entreaty to Mademoiselle La Corriveau as their curé. Welcome them to the parish and make a request on your behalf. But say nothing to them yourself until I have done so. Let me handle this until such a time as I've been
My
able
friend,
to speak to her.
I bow to your wisdom in these situations. You know, I'm more of a man of the field myself. I worldly in many ways, but you know people better than I do.
Oh my god, it's like if Cliff Clavin had a PhD.
Thank you.
Oh Lord, I love it so much.
My goal is to protect this man with my life. That's what it is right now.
And Titus sits back in a very self-satisfied way.
Yeah. Adelbert hands him a glass of port and just says, I will see what I can do for you. I think this is a good moment for us to move into a scene with, like, to keep things moving fluidly within the narrative, Adelbert and Aletia. To do that, hey, how's it going? I have a friend, sort of thing. But also that other dimension that we all know is there.
Yes.
So,
I'm so excited for this.
not to monopolize the setting of scenes, but I imagine the way this goes is that one of the servants of the house that you decided to retain
Yeah.
comes to you and says, one of the curés from the local parish has come to call to pay respects. Just like asking if you'll receive him.
Aletia is going to look at this this person and debate for half a second and realize you have to be socially acceptable and accept the cures and tell this person to let them in.
All right, so Adelbert comes in to your salon.
I will say that Aletia has planned to scandalize this person. It's going to be the goal, but until seeing you.
What is their reaction to seeing Adelbert?
Very much they're they've paced the room and tried to look at things that they could possibly incorporate to this little grand scheme of theirs immediately. And as soon as they hear the door, they turn and say that they have a really inappropriate book that they've found in the bookshelf, and instead see it settled there and oh. Looking at your clothes, I take it you were not. Are you serious?
Did you not know that I had taken up the cloth?
No. Did you?
Yes. I wouldn't. But I was pleased and surprised to hear that you'd come back.
Circumstances required me. I am certain, unless you have not heard, there was a will reading, and that required both me and my brother to return, and so on and so forth.
Oh, someone is finally going to live here. You've inherited. The rumors are true.
Yes. The both of us are planning to move in. And brother's dear wife. At least that is the plan for now. They look like they want to ask something, but they're like towing it and they're like messing with the book in their hands and probably going to drop it, like not intending to be klutzy, but it just happens.
Adelbert bends down to pick up the book for you.
At that point, Aletia is like, and now he's seeing the title and probably knows this trick.
Adelbert, I think, is too much of a gentleman to say anything about it. Just politely gives back your book.
Thanks. Thank you. It is favorite.
Yes, I remember.
Do you now? I don't remember you ever being aware of my particulars. Not quite like that. Unless you've done something that I am unaware of.
You may have mentioned it
once
or twice.
Perhaps.
I paid more attention to your letters than you give me credit for, beloved.
Did you know? Forgive me. You've caught me quite unaware with that. It has been quite some time since I've heard you say those words.
I didn't mean to set you off balance.
Considering how often I set you off balance, I suppose it would be fair play. And I was never very good at that. I don't believe you've come to unsettle me. You've had your reasons, I'm certain.
here strictly in my capacity as your curé, mademoiselle. He says, kind of with a knowing look.
Please say that isn't so.
Adelbert kind of looks around just with his eyes. He says, I think we both know what's true. You know where to find me if you need me, mademoiselle. And he starts to just kind of politely bow and take his leave.
They're clenching the book in their hands, and they are trying to still the tears in their eyes, and they are looking anywhere but him. And then say to the air, you know I will never go there. And that's it.
That was an excellent scene. That went a lot harder than I expected it to.
I know, very pleased with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. All right, what do we want for the rest of this novel chapter? What other scenes do we want? It occurs to me, I didn't even fucking mention Titus.
Damn.
That was supposedly...
Turns out they were playing.
Yeah, that was like...
I distracted you.
Yeah, that was supposedly the whole point of me going there. And I didn't even say a word about him.
And Titus is going to ask you about that next time he sees you, too.
Yeah, but like, in my defense...
No, it was great. That was better.
But like, in character, my defense is just, I was just as overcome as she was. So, yeah.
Lovey.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And I love that for us.
Yeah. So what other scenes do we want?
Should we have the other two run into each other?
May as well.
Casimir and Titus?
We could just do this.
I think that could be interesting. Because like Casimir might be feeling like, oh well, maybe I need to be making a little bit more of an appearance because of this inheritance and all. And
Oh yeah, no, that's 100% what I'm doing.
Yeah, and they run into each other in public.
Now, did we ever nail down what happened between us? Do we want to talk about that a little bit? Because whatever it is, Casimir believes it's his fault.
I'm not entirely sure that Titus thinks that there's any problem around here. I think whatever happened between them, Titus is completely oblivious to it. We should probably figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a minute. Take a minute to talk it out then.
All right. So we were what? Friends from school, just like contemporaries.
Yeah. When my dad was a British military officer here, and
but like before now.
Way before now. Yeah. And I probably wanted to keep. You know, I God bless Titus. I don't think he ever thinks he loses a friend, right? He thinks he's just, why would anyone not want to be his friend? And so maybe I didn't respond to, like, maybe I just also didn't really think about you very much until I knew I was coming back. And then I started sending a bunch of letters.
Well, I know why I didn't receive your letters.
Oh, why didn't you?
I wasn't here.
That's true.
So I probably, like, if we have a scene of me going to my, like, city address, it's just, or the post office or however mail works, it's just a stack of letters, and I'm like, oh no.
So it could be that you don't want to renew the friendship because you've got this hanging over you, and Titus might just steamroll into it. Or it could be that Titus actually did something not great that you resent. Entirely possible.
I do like dang it, I just had a thought and it's gone. But I like the idea of Titus having done something and like me being the one holding the resentment, because that's just such a like at this point that's a reversal from every other relationship I'm in.
That's
But,
true. That's great. Could I have been the cause inadvertently of you not going to church the final time?
I think it'd be more interesting to tie it in with like your family or the British in some way. Like I can't be seen around you, even though like logically knowing you would be good for me. I don't know. I'm just trying to reason this out.
Well, it could be that the last time we met was in. Where have you been when you've been not here?
Boston, probably, just like somewhere else.
Okay. So Titus would have been working with Bertram and going all over the United States, cataloging plants. And
well, the
it's
colonies.
possible I just like
it's not the United States quite yet, but yeah.
Right. But all over the other part of the lower part of
all over Nouvelle France, which is still at this stage most of the continent.
Yeah.
And the British colonies. And so I mean I could have Titus could have let's see what is it? You were a hedonist, right?
Yeah.
What would have really pissed you? What would be something that would really have pissed you off? Like, what do you even hold grudges against?
Now I'm thinking it's just like you were too nice. It like you kept trying to get involved to help me, and I just didn't want anything to do with that.
Okay, that is something I could totally see Titus doing. Like
I just resent you for being like for trying in a way. Like, you know, I was young. I wanted people to just leave me alone or enable me, and you were trying to actually help, and I wasn't ready for that.
And Titus is definitely someone without the self-awareness that like staging what we would call an intervention to maybe keep you from some friend, or maybe I actually did prevent you from going off with some friends to do something.
Oh, I like that.
And
I think that's enough information, actually.
That's good. We can do that.
I think we can start the scene now.
Okay.
All right, proceed.
So we're walking down various streets. I'm actually probably walking near the Maison de Corriveau, right? Because I know that soon I will get my introduction. And so I'm just, excited about that. Titus is excited about that in the way that he would be, and you might be on your way back to it from the business that you've been attending to, and maybe I'm even a little stalkery. Titus is there, excited to make these acquaintances.
I mean, my idea of where this scene is set is you like come to the apartment because you're concerned that I haven't answered your letters.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better. Fantastic. You know, I bet that landlady opened my mail to him and just never gave it to Casimir. That's probably what's going. I'm gonna go check. Okay, so I've come to your apartment, and do we meet like out front, or do we actually meet in your place?
I don't think I have servants yet. I think they're all still traveling with the luggage. So I guess I answer the door myself because I'm just not expecting anyone to call. So it'll be right in the door.
Fabulous. So I'm at the door and I give it a little jaunty little knock.
No solicitors.
Ah, my good fellow, just a moment of your time. I just need to inquire about a letter.
And I open the door. I told you, no Titus.
My friend! Oh!
It's been so long. How long have you been in Quebec?
Oh, at this moment, I've only recently arrived. But I sent you some notice of my arrival, and I didn't hear back, and I was worried for your health, sir.
You've just caught me on a return as well, but I have received your letters.
Oh, well, that explains it. That you two weren't. Why did I not think of that? Wonderful. Well, allow me to take you out and we can renew our acquaintance over a good dinner. What's good in Quebec? It's been a while for me. Where would you like to go?
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather stay in tonight.
Oh.
I'm feeling worn out from travel, you understand.
Oh, but of course, forgive me. We shall make arrangements to dine together tomorrow night.
Perhaps not. Tomorrow night I shall be moving into La Maison de Corriveau.
Yes, I understood this to be. He leans against the door frame.
I'm like moving to close the door a little bit.
Yes, I have heard. I understand that you're moving in with your sister, la belle Mademoiselle de Corriveau. How magnificent for you, my friend. And you are recently married, are you not?
I am.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm so glad to see you settled down from your old ways. You know how much how concerned I had been for you.
Yes, I remember. Of course.
Yes, yeah. Well,
you'll be happy to know that I have made quite a few big changes.
I am happy. I am, sir. Oh, you could not have said anything that would have made me happier. I look forward to paying my respects to you and to your wonderful sister just as soon as you have moved in. But now I will let you be. I see, of course, that you are fatigued, and I wouldn't want to presume upon our old and good friendship. But it is good
your courtesy. You must forgive me. I shall call upon you again some other time.
Of course. I look forward to that moment. And you might see me a little more than you think. I'm searching for new and interesting plants to show the world the glories of this area. But
So you shall be on expedition then.
yes. But I was hoping that you and your sister might guide me. I remember how much time your sister spent in these woods, and I thought for sure that she would be an excellent guide for me as I delve into this wonderful wilderness.
That is perhaps rather extreme to expect of people of society,
Oh, this is
but
true.
I don't presume to speak for my sister.
I look forward to hearing her speak for herself, my friend.
Of course.
Great seeing you again. And so well, and so settled, and so well, a little tired, of course. I will leave you be.
Thank you. To another time.
Well, that was interesting.
I found your extrovert.
Character dynamics. I'm an extrovert, I've realized, around everyone except the people here. I'll probably be an extrovert for Le Curé and my wife, but Titus I'm uncomfortable around, and my sister has me whipped.
I mean, he's the kid that was like, "Hey, we were friends in elementary school. Let's get a drink." That's like the worst Facebook message to get.
Because you can't say no, or
Yeah. All I know is I plan to devour this man in some way and leave him out in the woods. That is the goal. I'm defending him against this marshmallow against everyone else except myself, but in a good way. I promise.
It's nice to hear that you have ambitions, sister.
Titus will probably love that. He wants to go in the woods with you. He's like got his back.
I know. I'm so glad.
Does that mean I have to protect this man from my sister? It might.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be a game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think it is probably a good time for. We can either do another scene if you want, or we could take a break now. Like a break now or after one more scene. I'm just not sure what one more scene should be.
Yeah, I'd take 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's take 10 minutes now. We can use that 10 minutes to think of another scene. Wonderful. The novel chapter's off to a fantastic start.
Yes, it is.
Looking forward to it. See you in 10.
Yes.
I am here. I'm just figuring out dinner plans with my partner quick.
I just realized I had my mic unmuted. Whoops. Brady's just been hearing me like nibble, nibble, nibble. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Okay, since we're not doing anything right now, can you hear the cricket?
Yes, actually.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Okay, very loud. We have a cricket.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
We have this lovely little cricket. That's why I'm on mute for as much as possible. And I just kind of shake. He's somewhere, like literally in the drapes. Bless his little heart. And very hard to find. So, but when I shake the drapes, he shuts up for a while. I'll keep myself on mute unless required.
It's okay. Cricket noise is a delight. I mean, to me anyway. Cricket, and also.
Yeah, no, cricket. I'm happy for the little cricket, right? Like, but on the other hand, I'm also glad this is not the room I sleep in, because then I would be very grumpy at the little cricket. Right? They are loud. They are loud beings.
I would personally be too terrified because I am, despite my love of flying bugs, which is really odd considering those can fly at you, I'm terrified of crawly bugs. Which makes no sense because I do quite a bit of landscaping and gardening.
Well, it's different when they're in the dirt, you know?
No, not for me, it's not.
Oh.
You want to hear me scream? That is the way, like it could be living there and right there, and I could see it, and I will scream like a baby. And then I'll be like, why did you just do that? That is dumb. You deal with frogs and rats and mice and all that other stuff in the yard. Foxes, no problem. Little spiders, what is wrong with you? I have at my one of my jobs have bees. Like I said, dealing with the bees, they will fly and land on me, no problem. Anything crawling, I will freak out. Does not make sense, but still terrified of caterpillars.
We all have our things. We all have our things.
Okay.
Ironically, it's crickets for me.
There you go.
Specifically spider crickets, because the one I had in my basement are gigantic.
Oh, you're not even making that up. It's really true?
Huh?
I
Yeah.
thought you were just making it up because of my little cricket.
No,
I'm afraid I'm gonna look it up though. I've never seen a spider cricket.
They're nasty.
Don't tell me these things. I live in a place with lots of creepy crawlies. Oh, these buddies.
Yep. I like to pretend I'm fine with bugs, but in practice I am simply not.
That is understandable. All right. Sorry for the delay on my end. I've just been finishing up dinner plans with my partner.
You're good.
Anyway, for the next scene, what is? Okay. Okay, I was confused because I had a private chat from someone, and it was from Chris letting me specifically know.
Oh, wait,
that
what?
When you said you were going to BRB, you said it as a private chat to me instead of in the comments.
I think everyone can see that.
Oh yeah,
What?
it's
Yeah, no, private is for everyone who
Yeah.
in the show.
okay. All right, I misunderstood. Okay, I don't fucking use StreamYard. I don't know.
Actually, all I can see is him saying, "Be right back, getting water." I don't.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's it.
That's
Oh, that was
what
it.
it
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
It's okay.
so
I don't understand either.
for our next scene, does anyone have any ideas?
I do, but I will wait for everybody else to pipe in. But mine is definitely with our dear Titus already.
Okay.
I mean, it seems reasonable.
I kind of want to loop some connections in.
Ooh.
I think.
Well, there's also the possibility of Chris and his demon.
Yeah, no, that was my thought. Is do we want a scene which we can throw in at any point, basically.
I think narratively it's a little early to get into werewolf shit.
All right, then I can just be
Chomping at the bit. Sorry.
Yeah, everyone's all excited.
Wow, in this game about ghosts, people want to see the supernatural.
What? Who? What are you talking about?
These are just gentle suggestions from the facilitator. My inclination is to do more of a slow build-up.
We've only got 6 sessions.
Yeah. For me, 6 sessions is a lot. But yeah. We could do a werewolf thing. I was thinking it could be sort of interesting to contrast this heart-rending scene we just had with Adalbert and Aletia with a visit from Aymeric.
Oh gosh, I would love this.
Like have Aletia be reminded of some of her responsibilities, because like, is she like, we don't know if she's betrothed to Aymeric, but like, you know, it's the guy she's currently with, sorta. It would be an interesting contrast.
Absolutely, I love it.
What was your idea?
Oh no, I like that.
No,
I just
you said that you had an idea earlier, and you wanted to go last. So.
Oh no, it was just basically so I could, start working on Titus over.
Okay, yeah.
I am so endeared that I wish to be terrible to the marshmallow in the best ways.
I see. Okay, so
yes.
In my list we have. So this list I've written up, we have vague werewolf thing. Then Aymeric and Aletia torments Titus.
In the best possible way.
Yeah, is that...
In the best possible way.
All right. What order do we want to do these things in?
I'm fine leaving vague werewolf thing to the end, or just dropping it.
I think let's put it toward the end.
Yeah.
That would be a good closer for the novel chapter.
I don't mind Aletta making some form of appearance of haunting. I'm always down for haunting.
Oh, yeah.
Because, Laura's this is your first time playing, correct? Okay.
Right.
So, because you can get haunted in the middle of scenes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
it costs ghost resolve. Is that how that works?
Let me get the rules
Have
up.
the connection.
Let me get the rules up just a moment.
Okay, I don't know if they have changed because the first time I played, they changed that ghosts have to when they affect other people that aren't their direct connection. But
Did I not? I didn't pin the rule doc. Okay, I'm
oh
pinning the rule
no!
doc now.
Here, hang on.
I got it.
The second
I'm pinning it.
time I ever played with Chloe, I just completely
Oh
tormented
yeah,
her poor
pin it.
character.
I got it.
It was great.
Yeah, spectral connections. It doesn't really talk that much about spectral connections and how they work. Manifestations and resolve tokens. Okay. In addition to Guild Society's rules around resolve tokens, players may spend resolve tokens to effect a spectral manifestation. This can be used regardless of what was decided in collaboration about whether spirits are real. The characters who believe will likely attribute whatever they've seen to a spirit, and the skeptics will likely suspect that it was sleight of hand or some other thing. Spirits should manifest in one or both of the ways chosen during spectral collaboration, regardless of the character to whom they manifest. Connections do not need to offer resolve tokens to appear to the MCs they're linked to, even in scenes that aren't explicitly framed around the MC and connection. However, if a spectral connection wants their manifestations to be visible to other MCs, they need to offer a resolve token to their linked MC and negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
if you are playing a spectral connection of some kind, and the Lugaroo is considered a spectral connection, resolve tokens come into play. And so we will keep
But
that in mind.
only if
But
they.
not if the person that I am being perceived by is Casimir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different with the Lugaroo because that has to do with like the possession rules. Resolve tokens will always come into play with the Lugaroo because that has to do with possession. But yeah.
But it
like,
wouldn't come into use for like my twin sister.
It wouldn't
Haunting me.
necessarily come into play for Aletta haunting Aletia.
Yeah, like if Aletta wanted to just like appear in a mirror or out a window or something, that doesn't cost anything.
Yeah. All right. We good on the rules?
Yes, if I wanted Casimir to also see Aletta, I would use a resolve token. But if I only want Aletia to be able to see me, to see her,
you can get
We're all
that for
good.
free. Yep. All right. Cool. Let's go with Emmerich and Aletia because that seems the most normal and grounded, and then we can go to Aletia and Titus and get more unhinged,
Okay.
and then we can get most unhinged and do werewolf shit. Just slowly unravel.
For it.
I think that'll be good, and that will fill out most of our remaining hour and a half. So,
would it be possible for Aletta to make a slight spectral, her presence known to Aletia during your scene?
During my scene, yes.
During your
Absolutely.
you could. I would.
Emmerich.
My advice, based on the other game of Thinly Veiled that I ran, is unless you're planning a specific scene where I want this spectral connection to show up who hasn't shown up yet. I would just kind of lie in wait, let a scene play out, and wait for your moment.
Yeah, like feel it out.
Yeah.
Mostest with the mostest.
Yeah. Try not to plan out too much ahead. Just feel free to be impulsive.
That was the question behind the question. Yes. Lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so how soon after that crushing conversation with Adalbert do you think Emmerich comes to call?
Perhaps I would say a day or two, but I'm pretty flexible. Yeah.
I think the next day is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
probably,
like very early.
It would probably be laying it on a little bit thick to say later that afternoon. Uh, this is family. This is gothic family drama, not romance novel.
Yeah.
So, I think the next day, that same house servant kind of comes to says, "There's a Monsieur Moreau for you."
I see. I will take him in the garden then. Prepare something delightful. And they'll go and they'll exit through the probably the morning room directly into the garden.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play Emmerich since Kaya's not here.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Kaya's Emmerich.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. Me playing both of the romantic people for you.
Yeah, both of the romantic people for me, yes.
Yeah. So Emmerich is led in. And I think the dynamic is a little bit different, where there's that look of recognition and familiarity, because you have also known Emmerich for quite a while.
Yes. Yes, I have.
You've probably known Emmerich longer than Adalbert.
Quite. Probably, yes.
He's kind of, based on the description, right? It sounds a little bit like he's boy next door.
If you wish,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Well, you have to consider that your wealthy Quebec City elite, like next door is a couple hundred acres over because you have a country
Yes.
estate.
Yes.
So it's Jane Austen version of next door.
Yeah, of course.
So comes in, he has this really warm smile and smells vaguely of gin in a good way, like the botanical side of gin.
Okay, good. I was like, oh no.
No,
But that's right.
He's a distiller.
Distiller, yes.
Yeah. So,
When I had my own problem going, distiller.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he comes in and he just smells vaguely floral. And it's good to see you in town again.
And they'll get up actually because they were at first sitting quite in a pile of flowers to at first take out their, it's like, oh no, it's on. And then they get up and they go to him and they have their hands out for appropriate greetings of a kiss to each side. I'm pretty sure that's when this actually was still around, started. Can't remember. You know, the kiss to each side.
We're at somewhat important historical accuracy. It's fine.
Sure. Are we on first name basis? I'm gonna say they're gonna.
I think
Go
we're
ahead.
on for. I think we could be on a first name basis.
That's fine because I'm
Like,
gonna have
it's
Alethea.
It's an arranged marriage, but we're also childhood friends.
This is okay. I will accept that, but also I feel like Alethea would have called his first name anyway, regardless. Emmerich. I feel as though I have not seen you in quite a spell.
You must forgive me. I've been rather absorbed in my work.
Well, hopefully not too absorbed. You have other things to attend to, namely me.
Naturally.
So, how is the distillery?
It's progressing along rather nicely. We're expecting our yield this year to increase beyond expectations. I'm quite pleased.
Good. Anyone has said anything out of sorts lately?
I'm not inclined toward gossip, as you know, but when you inherit a large house that's been uninhabited for 15 years, my dear, people do tend to talk.
Oh, no, I hadn't meant for myself. I meant for you, considering the business and the disposition of the countryside and your alteration of
Oh, I see.
fermentation. That's the word, isn't it?
Well, fermentation is the process for wine. It's the business I used to be in, I suppose.
Right, the business you used to be in.
Like I said, I'm just not inclined to listen to the gossipers. I can see what direction business is going, and I'm taking my business where it needs to be. The powers that be like to drink this, so I'm going to make this. That's as simple as it is, really.
Well, one can wish for good fortunes regardless. It shall be our livelihood.
If it wasn't so prohibitively expensive to export what I needed to grow wine from France, I would continue, but I don't have any control over that.
No, I know you don't. Perhaps we should have stuck to other business and gossip.
Perhaps.
However, I have not contributed unless you are implying something about the house. I've only just gotten here.
No, I didn't mean to be implying anything. I just thought you were asking if people were saying things, and
Since you have brought it up, what are people saying?
I think I'm going to I need a reminder on how the resolve tokens from rumors work, because so few of the games I'm in actually use the resolve tokens from rumors.
Yes, I don't remember either.
I believe the way it works is if a rumor is spread, you can kind of bank on it to take that resolve token.
Yeah, I think it acts as like I think it works like reputation in that you can spend it sort of instead of a resolve token.
I see. Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
All right. There is a rumor that was spread that I think Emmerich kind of wants to call Aletia on, like call Aletia to the carpet about. And I think you know the one.
Wonderful. I actually don't. There's two. I'm assuming it's going to be the first one, though.
It could be a different one, actually, now looking at these.
I'm for whichever one you want to use, my dear. You can use both, for all I know.
I'm going to use the first one because the second one seems like one that one of our other main characters might want to use.
Okay.
So it moves to fading after it's used?
I think you cross it out after it's used.
Okay, yeah. It remains spread, but it becomes crossed out. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, so Emmerich clearly has a hard time actually talking about this, but is uncomfortable about whatever is bothering him to the point where he has to talk about him. Just says, and he's going to pay this resolve token to Aletia.
Okay.
Pay this resolve token to get the truth from Aletia.
I figured, yeah. I need to figure out what the truth is. We've only just seen each other.
Have you only just seen each other?
Have we? You realize you're talking in the third person right now.
Anyway, yeah. So I think
that's for us to decide.
So he's clearly really uncomfortable. It just eventually musters up the will to say it. A lot of people have been trading words about the fact that you ended up in the parish where a man you were once betrothed to is now the curate. I care very deeply for you, Aletia, but and I trust you, I do, but it's...
But you insist on asking.
It's a coincidence that I have a hard time putting away.
I am not responsible for where his whereabouts are. Or where I reside, am I? I did not orchestrate this. And I have seen him only once. I had not even known he was curé. So if that is what you wish to know, that is what I have for you.
Very well. I'm sorry I did not trust you.
I suppose I should be grateful you come to me direct instead of allowing gossip pepper your thoughts. Are you going to stand there all day? Are you going... Forgive me.
No, forgive me. I shouldn't have provoked you.
I suppose you have more right to provoke an answer, considering the specifications around such particulars. And they wince as they say particulars. You are connected to me whether you intended or not, and my behaviors do affect you greatly, up to and including your work. I should be more ladylike, I suppose, and know where to step within expectation.
I'm glad we understand each other.
However, you must know that I have very little to do and I cannot avoid a man of the cloth forever. It is a very small town we live in, and I would not like to not be questioned at every turn when I come into proximity with him.
He just nods and kind of gestures as if to kind of granted. Yeah, yeah.
Was that all you came here to inquire about? And they are
I was
desperately waiting for an answer.
There is no, there is something else. On a lighter note, there's a ball to be held in a few weeks, and I was hoping that you would accompany me, since you're closer now, since you're in town.
I suppose I will have to inquire with my brother, but I do not see what would prohibit me from doing so.
Very well. I look forward to hearing from you.
As she turns away from him, suddenly Alethea is overwhelmed by the scent of roses, which is interesting because no roses are among the flowers in her garden.
Absolutely not. There's no roses at all. They look discomforted, and they press their hand to their throat as though they can't breathe. Like the smell is almost overwhelming, and they're a little dizzy. And they're looking around and trying to focus, but then they right themselves. They look around. And they, I suppose, watch Emmerich depart. If he is departing.
I think he is, because Laura specified that this happens after he's turned to leave.
Okay. All right.
So unless you're able to like call out and like help, he's alert him to.
Yeah. No.
It is a bit dramatic.
No. I think.
It is a bit dramatic to have him just leave and you're like.
No, they're not gonna pass out or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're quite capable of gin. I think as we have learned.
Naturally.
I hope that was okay.
That was excellent.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. All right. How does this Titus scene happen if Adalbert didn't come through for Titus? I have an idea of how it might happen, but I want to hear from the two of you first.
Titus thinks Casimir is his new best friend.
That was my read of the situation as well.
He needs no introduction. What are you talking about?
Yes, he's been spoken about. Completely. But what was your idea?
Yeah, he's here to set up a time with Casimir when he can dine with them, and
my idea was that Titus got impatient not hearing from Adalbert and just showed up to speak to Lady Corriveau himself.
I'm fine with whatever, but you're going to find me in the garden.
Lovely.
Yes.
Have they dismissed a bunch of servants? Would it be possible for...
You can absolutely amble through the garden. Please do. Please just walk in like you...
Like I own the place.
Well, yes, like you were expecting that you have been introduced and that you can do this. Do what feels most natural, dear.
Well, is it happening hard on the last scene? Because I could have just seen Emmerich walk out and I'd be like, oh, look, people walk through there. He comes out.
Here we go.
Right in.
Americans.
Absolutely.
So,
okay.
Titus is overwhelmed by the variety of plants and flowers in this garden, and it just keeps just kind of wandering and looking at it, and then he catches sight of Elatia in her holding, or by her flowers.
Yes.
Mademoiselle!
They are. I think they are completely taken aback by this because who the hell would come in doing this?
Oh,
We're not expecting company. And they turn to as gracefully as possible without shooting daggers.
Oh,
Yes.
Mademoiselle,
That would be me.
How wonderful to see you again. It has been so many years. I'm sure, of course, you do not remember poor, humble me. Although Casimir, your brother, might have spoken of me recently. I saw him only yesterday, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to rekindle the friendship of our youth. Ah, Mademoiselle, and Titus takes both of their hands in his and brings them up to his lips to kiss them. Not
They're
being
gonna let.
He doesn't know that he's actually not supposed to actually kiss them. He actually does kiss them, and
That's okay. They're gonna let him.
Releases their hands. Oh, surely your brother has mentioned his old friend, Titus Smythe, doctor, I should say by now, doctor of botany. The only thing more overwhelming than the beauty of your garden is, of course, the beauty of you yourself. And Titus bows very, very, very low.
What a peculiar spectacle this is. I'm afraid, Doctor, my brother has said not a word of you. No, if I do. And I will say that they've been holding a flower in their hands this entire time. They put it under your chin if you are all right with it.
Yes.
And they make you lift your head. But I suppose if I take a good look at your features, I can divinate some familiarity.
Oh, I am overwhelmed by your kindness. We played together as young children. There was one time when you and your sister took me into the woods, and somehow I I lost you. I don't know how that could have happened. I have meant all these years to prostrate myself before you and beg your forgiveness for having lost you in the wood. Allow me to do so.
There's no need for that. Go ahead.
I'm going to take control of this spectral connection because Isabella's already in this scene as Titus.
Oh, right.
As Titus gets up from prostrating, you see a gardener working in the garden that you didn't notice before, and clipping some hedges and pulling up some roots. This gardener turns around, and it's your old mentor, John Bartram, but he just kind of looks wrong. His eyes are sunken and bloodshot, and he's looking at you really contemptuously with a deep hate in his eyes, and he's kind of gesturing these roots that he's pulled up at you, but saying nothing.
Forgive me.
Are you quite all right, Doctor?
You will think me a fool, but your gardener there, it startled me, and for a moment I thought I had seen a ghost. But
Did you know?
But yes.
I will pay a facilitator resolve token to Aletia for the gardener to have been one of the servants you let go. You don't have a gardener.
No, of course. They know they don't have a gardener. That's why I'm looking over my shoulder.
Excellent.
And I was about to say, that is, so it is someone who is not, who was let go, so was indeed, or is there nobody there? Is there a person there?
There's nobody there. You don't have a gardener.
Okay. No, I know I don't have a gardener. But I'm debating what I was thinking, and this is where I was stopping myself before I said anything, was debating whether Aletia would let the doctor know this or just smile with the quirk of their lips. Like, how funny. Because I feel like, the supernatural is not that odd for them, but they're going to get down to the bottom of it anyway. So I'll make an executive mental decision. Hey, tell, where did you see this gardener go off to?
Oh, well, that's speedy devil, isn't he? He was right there.
Devils indeed.
Yeah. Well, I beg your pardon, and again, I find myself something of a loss. I didn't mean certainly to disturb your solitude. I'm delighted.
And yet you walk to the very back of my gardens.
Yes, I realize now. Of course, I was presuming upon a friendship that I should not have. It was Casimir's garden that I thought I was intruding upon, and I am. Allow me to withdraw.
I think Aletia will get close to look under your eyes. Aletia is short. All my characters are short, so that is, they are able to be under your nose, so they can look at you in the eye and say, "Your humblest of apologies are accepted. However, you are correct that this is both my brother's and my gardens. Although I don't think it was a mistake my sister and I left you out into the woods."
Left.
Redirected.
A
mere game, Doctor. We were children.
I see that I have you have given me much to consider, much to think on. Perhaps I should
You were
retire.
too taken with the flowers in those fields. So it was interesting to watch you meander through them.
Oh,
I watched you. It was quite interesting.
well, I do have to say that was one of the events in my life that I consider the most formative. It gave me this deep love of plants that has never left me. I, you have lifted a weight from my shoulders. I thought that I had failed you, but now I see that in fact I am beholden to you for finding my genius in the plant world.
Well, I will say I am honored then by such an endeavor that you believe I have partaken in.
You must allow me at some point to repay my debt to you. Truly, I am in you and your sister's debt.
At the sound of, again, their sister, their face does turn a bit, and then they just school their features once again and say, well then, Doctor, I am certain we will have time aplenty to do so.
I look forward.
As do I.
And
right.
Titus basically bows his way out of her presence.
I think that's scene. That brings us...
I think that's good, yeah.
Yeah, I think that brings us to the vague werewolf thing in my list.
We don't have to.
I think it's a good idea. We can at least play around with it, even if you don't fully transform. I think it's a good idea to at least introduce it into the story. Because, you haven't even really acknowledged what you are to anyone.
It has a way of
Yes, you've only had
itself.
at your sister.
Yeah, you've even with your sister, you've danced around it. So, yeah, I think it would be good. You had mentioned wanting to get Casimir and Adalbert together at some point.
Sure.
I think an interesting way that we could do this without giving your secret away per se is that perhaps in his quest to rid himself of impiety, Casimir is going in for confession. And Adalbert is taking his confession. I'm glad you approve of this, Isabella.
Oh God, hang on.
Yeah.
I need a second to get in confession mode, a thing all Catholics have.
I warned you all this game was going to be super Catholic, which is funny and weird for me because I have never been Catholic.
It's funny and weird for me because I'm Catholic. Rather, both my parents are Catholics. I'm not technically Catholic. I'm one of the weird Protestant denominations, but we all know what counts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you step into the confessional booth. You obviously don't know which priest is in there, but for dramatic purposes, it is Adalbert.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
if I get what he's supposed to say wrong, forgive
No, it's
me.
fine. Just go for it. I'll
Just,
roll with
yeah.
it. But the
Right.
priest is
Yeah.
supposed to be the first one to speak.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
ask, they answer.
Yeah, I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't know that part. I thought you initiated because like they can't see you come in. So, all right, I didn't. Yeah. How can I help you? Sorry.
I might not be able, with this particular pairing might not be able to make it through a full confession, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I have been dishonest. I have been impious. I have not taken communion for more than a year, Father. And
That's
I've
quite,
hidden this and a great many other facts from those close to me, and indeed all the people of Quebec.
that's quite serious, my son, but I find it interesting that you mention all the people of Quebec. Do you feel some responsibility to the whole city?
No more than Christian charity, Father. But the guilt weighs on me nonetheless.
There's silence from the other side of the confession booth as Adalbert considers this. And also, as Roz looks up the words that he would ritually say so as not to really badly fuck it up. Yeah. What prompted your departure from your duties, my son? What
Temptation, drink, women, song. I've found society too perhaps too alluring for my own spiritual well-being. I see that now.
Forgiveness is available to you as long as you amend your life and return to the path chosen for you.
I know I am meant to have faith, Father, but I cannot believe this. Something has taken root in me. I think I am too far gone.
Tell me more about this something that you believe has taken root in you.
It is an adversary, a persecutor. It tells me that I am damned. It tells me that there is nothing left for me but danger. It tells me that I cannot do anything but hurt those I love. I hear it now.
The voice of the devil is a powerful thing, my son.
Indeed.
If you return to the sacraments of the church, they will provide safety and security for you. I want you also to consult with a colleague of mine He's a priest of this church, Father Roy. He is knowledgeable in these matters.
Thank you, Father.
I don't know what the proper closing thing is.
I honestly don't remember either.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's a good ending to the scene. Anyway.
Well, you could also give him penance to do to expiate his sin.
I was thinking about that, but I don't.
Okay,
know.
so
I don't have a frame of reference for what.
All right, Hail Marys, as the stereotype, are a real thing that you offer.
Yeah,
that
but
you offer as penance.
I didn't want to say a really stupid number. That's
numbers are, kind of vibes based.
Okay.
But other things you can say will absolve me would be some kind of an act of penance, like a donation or good works.
Okay.
Things of this nature.
All right. I think after another pause, as Adalbert considers, he would be really inclined toward suggesting donations to the church, because he's probably a little bit corrupt. So, as penance, I also want to encourage you, when you return to Mass, to give generously to the church.
Of course, Father.
To empower others to obtain the same relief and healing that you seek.
One nice thing is that they were called Catholic indulgences, where...
Were indulgences still practiced?
Yes, indulgences are still a thing. So
okay.
There is a specific kind of indulgence, the plenary indulgence, that is the give money, be absolved of sins. But there are a couple workarounds for that, and the main one that is still a big deal is pilgrimage is technically an indulgence.
I see.
Like you can gain indulgence through good works, and that is still very much part of the doctrine.
I see. Okay. So what he's done now is basically given you an indulgence, then.
I would Casimir wouldn't be here if he was anything but completely suggestible. Naturally. So that's probably not a cool thing for the priest to have done, but
I mean, Adalbert is not the coolest priest, so that was part of the character concept. So,
cool. Then I think that scene is good where it lays.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I clearly have not absorbed as much Catholicism from my mom's family as I expected. So I need to.
This is how I feel about French culture. So
yeah, I need to look into this more before next session if I'm going to be playing a fucking priest.
But you're a corrupt priest, so it's fine. You're a hedonist.
Yeah, it's fine.
Who cares? We're not going to tell on you. I don't even know the first thing.
I also told Chris to go meet with a connection that he plays. So I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing the priest that's actually serious.
I love that in games, though, when you suggest another character to go talk to themselves, basically.
This happens so often.
Mm-hmm. It does, and it makes me giggle.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I love that.
There's part of me that is reluctant to close out a whole novel chapter without Vesperine, but it almost makes sense to introduce a new character in a new novel chapter. Is there anything more we want from this novel chapter? That confession scene felt like a really good closer to it. Like, it's foreboding and ominous, and there's a darkness inside me, man. I could hear the record scratches and guitar screams of the Linkin Park soundtrack.
The rain picked up like as soon as that scene started. I don't know if you could hear that, but it was perfect on my end.
Yeah, just like the camera pans out away from the confessional booth and you just hear echoing through the church, crawling in my skin.
That's my brother's theme song now.
Oh, God, fuck, you're right. Fuck, you're just correct, and I'm so upset about it.
I'm not upset about this.
I'm very pleased.
Yeah.
I have a good ear for character theme songs. I was a musicologist. I know this shit.
Yes. Oh, you have to tell me when you figure out mine, because I want to know.
I have a few ideas boiling, but I haven't locked it.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. We're on to the reputation phase now.
Oh, that's right.
Of course.
That's important.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
So,
I've done so many terrible things already.
So Laura, if you're unfamiliar, you go to the... Is this for your role or your background? I always confuse it.
I think it's for a character role.
Yeah, I believe you go to your character role, and based on the parameters with your character role, if you and the actions you took in this chapter, you gain a positive tag or a negative tag. So you're the new arrival, and you would look at that. I'm the socialite. So.
Okay, actually, you go to your family background sheet.
Yeah, it's the background, not the role.
Yep.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's fine. I swap those two in my head all the fucking time. And
theme.
I've been playing this game for how long?
I don't know. I've only been playing for a short time.
Yeah.
I usually trust whatever anyone else says. I'm like, yep, that sounds right. I say I got both.
I think Adalbert is going to gain a positive tag because he showed restraint with Aletia. And he didn't he fulfilled his duties by administering the sacrament of confession. So he was weirdly good while also being just a tiny bit sleazy.
I mean, that's pretty much why I'm getting both too. Yes.
I think I'm also getting
I mean,
positive
one of
good.
the negative tag criteria for the clergy background is rejected a heartfelt request for help, and I didn't do that. I helped.
Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan.
I referred you to a more knowledgeable priest.
I need the chance to set the tone for Father Roy.
Yeah, you need to set the tone before I play Father Roy.
Because I know precisely how weird this guy is going to be.
If you do an Hercule Poirot impression, I will be so pleased.
Oh my goodness,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, listen. Have I been googling scripture about the evils of the world? Yes. That's all you need to know.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Okay.
So, my background as the new, but my background is actually foreign because I'm the British.
Oh yeah. So
Listen to for the negative tags. Did I act in contravention of society's conventions? Check. Did I act on a desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality? Oh, I think so. Acted in a way that would shame or embarrass your place of origin. John Bertram clearly showed what the Brits would think of me. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you get a negative tag.
I
yes.
do.
Now the way is though is that you only you don't have to add them all up together. I think you just if you've done one of them, that's good enough, and you get one positive or one negative or both
points
of
for
them.
nailing them all, my friend.
I'm glad we had the same first experience then, because I also went, wow, I did all of these the first time I played. It was all negative
so
stuff.
Adele Bear is getting restrained as a positive tag. So, which is an interesting contrast to his other positive tag, which is charismatic. He's charismatic and restrained. It's like a quiet confidence, I guess.
Yes.
Father Blue Steel.
This is the hardest part of this game.
Oh, I just noticed Casimir's tag sensible and miserly.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that miserly tag is going to come into play.
I am also curious.
Transforming into a werewolf because you get into a disagreement over money.
Yeah, staying out too late, arguing with the local distiller.
Or getting into it with your sister over where this hidden 70,000 francs
I'm for
is.
it.
And you just get so agitated, you turn into a werewolf and bite her head off.
I think I can manage
the money is mine.
I think I can manage my werewolf brother. I don't think I'm going to let him bite my head off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's got witchcraft to do. It's fine.
Yes, and a temper of my own.
Or just transforming because
I'll just
of
give a tag and think about it over the week.
Transforming because of inheritance tax.
If you had said anything but what you said in the scene with the lawyer, who's to say?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess Laura is to say, but
yeah, I struggled a lot playing the lawyer in a way that I didn't expect.
Reach down. Sorry.
Yeah, I struggled a lot more than I expected playing the lawyer because it was a scene that I wanted.
Why?
It was a scene that I wanted to happen, and then we got into it, and I realized, oh shit, I have no idea what I actually want to happen.
The hidden treasure was great,
I think it went swimmingly.
Yeah.
No, I love the hidden treasure.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was completely pulled out of my ass.
but it works.
It works.
It
works.
The only other thing I would say is that some kind of silver something or other, like a very valuable artifact heirloom might be missing.
Excellent.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also like that because it really helped figure out the footing of the siblings' relationship.
Yeah.
And their dynamic.
Are they gonna work together to find this, or are they gonna stab each other in the back for it?
Oh, I think Galathea would work with their brother, but that's we'll figure this all out.
Yeah. All right. So has everyone added a tag or a placeholder?
I did.
Excellent. Yeah. So
Great,
Aletia has gained strategic and bewitching as positive and negative, respectively. Titus has gained great offense as a negative tag.
Oh, gosh.
Just apparently his existence is offensive.
No.
I mean,
I will argue that.
Okay, I don't think I had to pick one of the two that were offered beneath it, so that's why I took it. I would go with probably Buffoon.
I think
Buffoon is way better. Do Buffoon.
Buffoon suits him so well.
I think whatever one you want to use is great because they're both very, very good terms. But I myself, as a player, love him dearly. So that is why I'm saying no. You can use whatever tag you wish, my dear.
Nah, he's a buffoon. But he's our buffoon, damn it.
Well, technically, he's your buffoon. You have an extrovert brother.
Yeah,
We'll see how that works.
He's your ex buffoon.
Yes. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I was not
then
expecting this.
Just figure out your positive tag whenever you come up with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
do...
mark that you have an X there so you know if you're going to add
I've got it,
something.
I think.
Let's do
Okay.
rumor and scandal.
Yay!
So now you know how this works. We can create or we can spread. For the benefit of anyone watching, whether that's Kaya or Chloe, our current rumors is that Aletia was recently seen collecting flora and large quantities of bog moss from the woods, and many believe it is to continually bewitch Emmerich with her wiles. That one has been spread. The next one is it a coincidence that Titus's reappearance coincides with these night attacks? That one has also been spread. We have Casimir disappears at night because he's actually a vampire. That one has not been spread, and I'm kind of mad about it. There's Casimir is having an affair. That one has been spread. And then Titus Smythe is sneaking around pursuing someone way lower than of his station. That one has not been spread. All right, have at it.
I'm so inclined to the Titus one that says Titus Smythe is sneaking around pursuing someone way higher than his station because it's just funny at this point. You know what? I'm going to make that happen. That's one of my rumors.
I have spread the rumor that Casimir disappears at night because he's actually a vampire. Because I think that misdirection would just be really funny.
I love that, and I'm glad.
God, now I gotta Google the official Catholic position on vampires.
You don't already know?
No. My knowledge is deep but inconsistent.
I am not great at knowing the Catholic, wow, words today, version of that. I gotta change the spelling of my name because I added an E because I like it better looking that way. I've seen it spelled both ways, but I like the E. So I put in parentheses that it's Alethea that you are sneaking around trying
Way
to
higher than his
pursue.
station, though.
Way higher.
Aletia is higher in
right.
than him.
Why did I put lower? There we go. I just brain dropped.
Okay, I'm spreading that right away.
Thank you. I'm so pleased. I love it for so many reasons. And I'm glad that you are spreading Casimar's it disappears at night because he's actually a vampire. Okay.
Are there no rumors about Vesperine? Huh.
Oh, that is strange. But also it kind of makes sense because Vesperine hasn't shown up yet. It's prescient, you might say.
One might say.
I have created the rumor Adalbert is funneling church funds into his family's vineyard.
Oh my gosh.
I almost put that rumor down.
Hmm.
Every time I typed in Adalbert, though, for some reason it was like, no, somebody else is using this, is typing in here. So
Yeah.
That is a great rumor. I'm all in on that rumor.
All right, I've done my 2 actions.
I'm spreading that one. That's
Excellent.
too good.
have made one, my second one. Alethea has been seen off in the woods, luring wayward sons of Quebec with bewitchments just like Madame Corriveau.
Okay, very good. So that's
I'm
your
playing to
two
my strength.
actions.
Yes, I have.
Chris,
Can
have
I
you
just
done your two
spread-
actions?
Yes.
Can I
And Laura-
spread two instead of right? 'Cause
Who's
I'm
in
not gonna have to
Yeah,
do
you
that.
can just spread two instead of writing one.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm really not.
Oh,
Okay.
Done.
All right. So we're good. Excellent. What we're actually going to do then, just to clean this up.
delete the extra. Oh, we have spread a lot of rumors. That's delightful.
Society, the walls have ears.
Yes.
Okay, so that's cleaned up now. A lot of rumors spread. Gotta make use of them.
So much trouble. And we did. We already we already used a rumor, so that's
Yeah.
good.
So, excellent.
Nice.
We're in the epistolary phase now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Can it be 24/7?
I am down to make a 24/7 channel if you want. I am kind of mixed on 24/7. I don't end up using it very much because my life's so busy. Yeah, I am down to just make a 24/7 channel and finish early.
Otherwise, I won't be able to. I'm looking at the time and I'm going, I can't think this much in this short of time.
I will
no.
make a channel for epistolary. We're gonna wrap it here. This was great. Let's do Stars and Wishes off the broadcast. So I'm gonna end the broadcast. Bye, Kaya. Bye, Chloe.
Bye. Mwah. In the words of French.